Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We are coming to you live and direct as we look ahead, of course, to our next match against Doncaster Rovers tomorrow night at home. Yes, we're back home again. Look, really excited to be joined by Adam this evening, who is a Doncaster fan, to give us a better insight into all things Doncaster, of course. See, I know a bit about them myself, but obviously as a fan, obviously I'll know more. So yes, really excited to welcome on in a moment. But yes, tonight's schedule as usual is the opposition outlook for the opening 10-15 minutes. Then our perspective of things, including, predicted lineups, Lee Grant's press conference as well today, which for sure has some very interesting things that the gaffer had to say. And I've got a lot of it to cover and discuss with you all out there because, yeah, some really interesting things that he said. And also score predictions, of course, as well. But make sure you do smash the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and as I said, comment your thoughts throughout tonight's show as well. And you haven't already done so, please do go and check out my video released today, doing my midweek predictions for all of the League One matches, of course. After tonight's show, go and have a look at it, and yes, get your predictions as well. But we'd really appreciate that. But without further ado, it is time to welcome our special guest onto the show. Of course, a Doncaster fan, and really excited to hear a bit more about Doncaster and the best insight. And yes, so without further ado, let's get him on now. Hello, Adam, mate. How are you doing? Good to have you on. How's things?
Evening. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Thanks. Looking forward to our game tomorrow for sure. Looking forward to that. Yeah, football. It's football. But I'm not looking forward to the test that you will certainly be giving us tomorrow evening. But before we do get into things, let's just go to the chat first. Of course, a few people already in here. Josh was in the building. He says, "Evening, Ryan and Adam. Hope you're both well and hope you've both had a great day." Yes, big up. Appreciate that. And likewise as well. And thank you for tuning in. Also, Noah's here says, "Hello, Ryan. Disappointed with the result versus Blackpool, but I don't know why Town fans are already turning others." Yeah, look, it was a disappointing result. I've kind of put that behind myself now. I really had my rant yesterday in the review show, and yeah, just move on now. But I'm not sure if Town fans are turning on the team already. I just think a lot of fans are really disgruntled by what we saw. We knew we were going to lose at some point, but I think it was the manner of the way we lost that game, the way we performed, the way we turned up and played like that. It's just not acceptable in any way, shape or form. But look, yes, that's my info. That's my insight. Adam's in the building. We're Adam, of course, who joins us every time in this chat. He says hello. I'm off to the game tomorrow. Big up! Hopefully you're our lucky charming, Adam. And we will get those 3 points we need, right, to bounce back. But look, we are here to, first of all, discuss the opposition. So let's get straight into things then. So, let's have a look. I've lost my notes, guys, to be honest with you. But look, obviously, thanks very much for coming on, Adam. Obviously, you know what I mean? We obviously talk about Doncaster first. I seem to have lost my notes, as people have probably realised. But look, Yes, I've actually got it now. I've got it. Of course I've done it. Oh my goodness, the joys of a live showing always goes wrong. But look, obviously, first of all, obviously your start to the season, you know what I mean. You've started really well. Obviously, live back in League One. What have you made of your start to the season, first of all, before we get into this game in isolation?
Yeah, from Rovers' point of view, can't really complain, to be honest with you. I mean, to still be unbeaten at this stage, and a bit enough about the start of the season. I mean, it's not been an easy one as well. I mean, probably expected to win the extra one, but then going away to Mansfield and Wickham at home, and also that cup match against Middlesbrough as well. No easy games there as well, and to come out of that unbeaten, yeah, it's been a surprise. I mean, I expected us to have a good start, but yeah, probably a better start than I expected, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously, like I said, I like to watch every team, highlights and stuff like that. And yeah, Doncaster certainly. I think I put you guys comfortably in. I think it was 12th or 13th in my league predictions. So yeah, no, I think you're gonna have a good season. There's no chance of you going down. I think you'll be fine. But yes, obviously this game tomorrow night. Then, what are your thoughts going into this one, Ben? Like, what are you thinking ahead of the game?
It's a tough one. I can't lie. I mean, I've kind of been saying for a while, I think this could be the first one where we struggle potentially. I mean, I think we've played well. We've had a lot of games, coming thick and fast. We've got a lot coming up. So it's going to be interesting just with our squad, whether we can, stick to what we've been doing or we mix it up a bit. But yeah, I mean, on paper, looking at, the signings you guys have made and minus the Blackpool game, how you've been playing, stuff like that. I can see it being a tough one. I think we'll be up for it. I think, like I said, I don't think we'll we'll have an awful performance, but I think it could be a tough game for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just kind of curious to think what you think you're going to do tomorrow night in terms of like the approach that you take to this game, because obviously, as we all know, as town fans over here, we know that when we play against a team that may sit back a little bit and put men behind the ball like Saturday, we struggle to break that down, and that's the blueprint to try and get points from us. That's how I see it. Now, do you think that that's the way you will go? Will you, sit back and play on the counter attack? Have you got the pace in the squad to be able to do that, or how do you see it in terms of the approach you take?
Unfortunately, I don't think we will. I think we'll probably. I think Grant McCann is that kind of manager. He don't really sit back. He's kind of all-out attack, which sometimes does come to bite us. And yeah, I'm gonna say I think if that's the case, then it could be a tough one. But like I say, we've got quality all over the pitch, especially on wings. Like obviously Molyneux, on his day he can be fantastic. Even step up to League One, he can still be a fantastic player. And then we've got like Jordan Gibson, Glenn Middleton on the other wings. So, we've got quality all around the pitch and squad depth as well, like in terms of changing it up. So it's going to be an interesting test. Like I say, play better by the sound of it against teams that do go all out attack. I can't see it. Like I say, I can't see us sitting back. Never been that type of team under McCann. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how we approach it.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I expected that you would, because if Grant McCann's done his research, he will know the blueprint. And surely, yeah, it's okay, he likes all out, he likes attacking, but I think you have to be a little bit like, when you come to a place like ours, maybe you need to be you can still attack, of course, but I mean, just be a bit more, like, not all out attack in that sense, you know what I mean? But, I mean, if you come in attack, then we're fine with that, because we'll be able to maybe, hopefully, getting behind, and I'll be happy with an open game like that. To be fair, that'd suit us better. But yeah, we'll see. But let's have a look. Yes, some thoughts. So in terms of like your lineup tomorrow, do you expect to see many changes from the weekend, or how do you see yourself setting up tomorrow?
It's an hard one to tell, to be honest with you, because in the cup against Middlesbrough, we made 11 changes last Tuesday night we played. And then I think we're 4 from, not the Tuesday night, from the Saturday before in the league that we made. So, yeah, I can see him mixing it up a bit. Because like I say, I think after this week as well, I've got 2 other Tuesdays. So we're playing Saturday, Tuesday. quite a bit for quite a few weeks now. So I think there'll be a few changes. Maybe potentially Matty Pearson, who were at you guys last season. Maybe he'll come back because we've got Jay McGrath at back. He's just come back from injury. He's played Tuesday, Saturday. So whether maybe give him a rest so we don't push him in too quickly. But it's hard to tell, to be fair. I mean, I could see it being a similar team to Wickham, where maybe a couple of changes here and there. But yeah, it's hard to tell because we've mixed it up quite a bit last midweek. So and we've got players that can do that. So it's going to be hard to tell, to be fair.
So what is the formation that you're likely to go with then? Like I can't remember in my mind what formation you guys like to play really usually.
Mostly a 4-3-3 usually.
Right, so very like you said, be all out attack. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, I expected different, and that's why I had a bit of a concern going into this game. I think it's still going to be a tough game. Don't get me wrong, but I just thought that you would maybe come and sit in and play on that counter. But yeah. I mean, look, fair play. Let's have a look at the comments before we get into just a final question or so. Let's have a look. Gosh, there's loads of comments here. Adam says we can bounce back. Yes, well, we want to be doing, of course, going on my own. Fair enough. Big up Jackson the Bill. Is the big up Ryan? My score prediction is Town 2, Donny 1. Yeah, I mean, we'll take that, absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of, fair enough. Let's just keep going. Aiden's in the building. He's here. Of course he is. The proper real one. Been here since day one. This is hi lads, look, you're both okay. Doncaster will beat us. I put money on it. Right, Aiden is not feeling very confident at all. And look, I think, Rose, I mean, the start we've had and then Saturday, I just think the confidence going to this game is not as good as what it should have been. And I think a lot of fans are maybe feeling a bit, not like lost completely confidence in themselves, but just a little bit of a knock, actually, in terms of the way we played at the weekend. So Aiden, I don't really, I don't blame you thinking like that. Charlie's in the building. He says, hello, Ryan. Sorry I'm late. No worries. You don't need to be sorry for being late. It's fine. Good to see you in. Yes, if you can drop a like if you're in here right now, make sure you do. Big up to you all, and thank you, Aiden, for that. We are against Matty Pearson tomorrow night. Yeah, we are obviously coming back. And I mean, I think he probably will start, to be fair, probably. I think Town can get Matty Pearson with his like a Pitiola, yes. I mean, definitely. We've got some quick players in that attacking third, haven't we, ourselves? So Matty Pearson will have to be on his game if he plays. We know his weaknesses. Yeah, we do. We know it. But he also knows our weaknesses as well. So, but I suppose we're a completely different squad this time. So I don't really think it really... he won't really know many of the players. He'll know a few, of course. But look, so we've already kind of looked at maybe some key players. Obviously, Luke Molyneux being one. By the way, I'm a big fan of Luke Molyneux. He's a player that I really admire. I really like. I wish he was on our side. Full of creativity and always a danger. And definitely we're going to have to be on our game for sure to keep, because he always seems to do something in every single game. It's just crazy.
Absolutely.
But I mean, obviously Luke Molyneux being the standout player for you guys, but any other kind of players that you really rate and really, see as your key danger men in this side, key players for you?
Yeah, there's a young lad we've got on loan from Tottenham. It's called Damola Ajayi. I think he actually scored in Europa League last year for Tottenham. But he's come off the bench last few times. He started against Middlesbrough in a cup, but I really rate him extremely highly. You can tell he's just one of them who's going to be a superstar in a few years. He's a tricky player. Unfortunately, he plays on the same wing as Molyneux, so a lot of times he comes off the bench. Sometimes he either plays at number 10 or maybe on right hand side if he comes on. He's mainly played in just behind the striker. But yeah, I'd love for him to. I mean, it's hard to fit him into the team, but I would love for him to start starting a few games because I really do rate him highly. And on his day, he can be unplayable.
Yeah, he's a good. It sounds like he's a good player to come off that bench and make an impact. And like you say, that's when you can get some good. You can really utilize the low market really well, can't you? I think, and you can get some really quality players in as well, in that kind of young players that just want to play football and they're very, very good for their age as well. So yeah, who is your goalkeeper again? Just remind us.
Timothy Lotatal. I've got him on loan from Hull City.
All right, yeah. I've don't recognise him, but yeah, obviously I always like to see who's in the goal for our team who we're up against. Obviously trying to beat. So yeah, I mean, final question from me really is obviously, what do you think the score prediction is going to be tomorrow night if you have to choose? And yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for us. I'll be honest. I think playing you after that loss to Blackpool probably couldn't have come at a worse time for us, because I'd imagine you guys, especially at home, you guys would be up for turning that around as quickly as possible. But we're playing well at the minute. I mean, Wycombe were at the weekend were a frustrating game. I think a point were a fair result, to be honest with you. But yeah, it depends who turns up, whether the Rovers who played against Middlesbrough turn up or one who played against Wycombe turn up. But I think this is going to be a tough one. I've kind of said all along, I think this will probably be our first loss of the season. So I'm going to stick with that. I think it's going to be I'm going to agree with the guy in the chat. I think 2-1 Huddersfield, but I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be an entertaining game as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one for us. But yeah, good game all in all.
Yeah, no, I mean, fair enough. Like I said, I've been impressed with you guys, and I do think you'll give us a good game. I think it'll be close myself, as people will know later on when I do my score prediction. But yeah, no, I definitely think it's going to be a good match, and it's going to be intriguing to see what happens, really. But yeah, obviously, we've kind of come to the end of what I want to say, really. But anything else you kind of want to mention that you feel is important, then you know what I mean, feel free. But I don't know if you've got anything else that you've come with you to do, what you've come on today, and obviously anything else you want to mention that you haven't already, maybe been able to.
Not really. No, looking forward to the game tomorrow. I'll be there. Should be first time. Well, I've been Huddersfield before. I've been in the home end, but never been in the away end. So looking forward to doing an away day there for the first time. And yeah, enjoy the game tomorrow, and good luck for the rest of the season. Apart from when we play, of course.
Yeah, I know. That's it. Oh, yeah. Obviously, if you're coming as well, that would be good for you as well. So yeah. But look, thanks very much for coming on, mate, and obviously taking your time out of your evening to speak with me. And obviously, yeah, I mean, look, I do like Doncaster as a club, so best of luck to you guys for the rest of the season, apart from tomorrow night, of course. But yeah, I know you obviously do football content yourselves, so yeah, feel free to shout your socials where people can find you as well.
Yep. So main one is YouTube. It's just Adam Gittins, so that's GITTINGS on YouTube, and on all the other socials, it's just Adam Gittings PT on pretty much everything. X, Instagram, TikTok, and yeah, I'll be vlogging tomorrow night, so the video will probably be out on the Wednesday evening. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, right, good stuff. Yes, go and make sure you go and show your support to Adam, of course. And yes, I will put a few of his socials in the description of this video, of course, as well. So yes, big up to you, Adam. Thank you for joining us. Have a good rest of the evening, and yes, let's see who can come out on top tomorrow. Hey, but yeah, take care, mate, and thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, thanks a lot. Have a good evening.
Take care, mate. See you later. Bye.
You too, mate. See ya.
So yes, thank you very much to Adam for his contributions this evening. And yes, like I say, great to have him on. But let's have a look at the comments before we do go any further, guys. We're going to get into our perspective now. But let's have a look. Yeah, Matty Pearson is a big aerial threat, you're right. So yeah, obviously we have to be careful. Billy Sharp could cause a few. Yes, that's another player that I forgot to mention. Billy Sharp, full of experience. You know what he brings to the table, don't you? And certainly his goals. What's happening with the live? What do you mean, Paul? The live chat's all right to me. Let me know what you mean. Mark, does he mean Ryan? Hope you're okay. Yes, I'm doing all right, thanks. Hope you're well, mate. Good to see you. Right, let's have a look. I'll subscribe to you after this. Yeah, big up. Yeah, go and make sure you go and subscribe to Adam, of course, great guy. Live chat keeps freezing, cutting out. Live chat keeps cutting out and freezing, does it? What do you mean? Is that why people are... Let me just check from my end. We're going to get into our perspectives, so make sure you do stay with me. I think all the... I'm not sure what you mean, mate, because like it's all right at the moment, but I don't know if there's a problem with the stream. Let me know if it's working all right now anyway. But look, we're going to get into our perspective then. So obviously, yeah, I mean, look, like I said, we return back home tomorrow looking for a massive reaction to the big disappointment over the weekend. And I think, like we've already alluded to in the review show last night, it's imperative that we do bounce back in this game, guys, isn't it? We need to and like I said, I hope we are prepared for what we are coming up against here. You know what I mean? And I was actually expecting that Doncaster would come and maybe, play that low block and try and but obviously Adam seems to think that we're not going to do that, which I think is, they're not going to do that, which is, I think, is surprising to me than about anybody else. So, but if they do maybe sit back a little bit, then we're going to have to find the solutions to break that down. But look, team news, no new injuries from the weekend. Now, the team lineup, let me know your team lineups in the chat, guys, but I'm not too sure if there's a few glitches on YouTube this evening because, like I said, people are saying that the chat's cutting out. But I'm not sure if it's working or not. Right, sorry about this, guys. Just gonna keep going, to be fair, because obviously I don't really know. But look, my team lineup for tomorrow night is as follows. Let's just take the banner off a moment. Yeah, and like I said, I think everything's playing up this evening. But look, my lineup for tomorrow night is as follows. For me, like I said, Goodman starts in goals as usual. Back four, Rowan, Lowe, Watmore. I mean, like I say, I think if we see another defensive display like we did on Saturday, then I would be looking to bring in, Fina, who is ready and waiting there. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because, like I say, it was, maybe just a blip in there because I think defensively we looked good, apart from Saturday. And Gooch on the right, who has been brilliant since he's come in. They're two holding midfielders, Ledson, obviously the skipper, and Kasumu, who I would like to see come back in because Kasumu is a player that drives you at the pitch. He's aggressive, and he will cover the hard yards, and he's not going to be, labouring like the likes of Herbie Kane has laboured in this side. So for me, Kasumu should be coming straight back in. Should be coming back in. Sorry, not straight back in. He should be coming in. So the further forward we go, obviously Rooston on the left. I've gone for Castledine. You do a start in the number 10 now, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He's come off the bench twice now. Now let's see him from the start. Let's see what he can do from the start. And that's how I see it. give him that license to, show what he can do from the start instead of just bringing him on for the final couple of minutes. Now I think it's time to step up to, to bring him in and ready to go. And then obviously Harness, who didn't play very well at the weekend either. I want to see better. Because ultimately you need to have that end product in that position. And unfortunately, Harness just didn't in the game against Blackpool. So he needs to be better. And then obviously May, I've gone with May up front as well. But yeah, I'm not too sure what is happening with the stream this evening, but we seem to be having a few technical issues, which is a bit concerning in my eyes, but we'll just have to roll with it. Don't know if it's glitching out or if it's... Or is the live continuously freezing as well? Maybe that's why people are not... maybe that's why people are kind of just giving up on it a little bit. Just give me a moment, guys. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're still there, Aiden, but I'm not too sure, mate, what's going on at the moment. Like, it seems to be working out right when I'm checking it back on the live, but I don't know if you need to come out of YouTube and come back on again. Maybe YouTube is down at the moment. Maybe that's what it is. But don't really know what really to do. There's 3 people back in here, so let me know if you can hear me all right, guys, and if you're back, because there's a few technical issues going on. But look, like I said, I want to see in this game has come out the blocks early on, you know what I mean? Put them under pressure, make sure we're testing their keeper, you know what I mean? And don't let them settle in the match. We don't want the away side to be settling, do we? We want to be on top from the get-go, take the game to them and put them under pressure, you know what I mean? And, like I said, test that keeper as well, and keep pushing, keep knocking on the door and keep going with it. But yeah, but as I was saying, let's have a look at what Lee Grant has had to say. And like I said, guys, if it keeps freezing, do let me know in the chat. We are having a few technical issues this evening. I do apologise for that, but YouTube seems to be playing up. So yeah, I mean, I did say I want to go through a few quotes from the gaffer himself, who had a lot to say in today's press conference. Obviously, he was asked about if there was any new injury issues, and he said no, which is always nice, especially with the games coming thick and fast. There's no situation with players like Kasumu and Charles. We have a big squad and can only select 18. So we'll be players who don't fit into that, unfortunately. It won't be the same every week for every player. So that's kind of maybe, responding to maybe a few people out there that have said, well, especially Kasumu. I don't think a lot of people were that fussed about Charles, but especially Kasumu, there was like, well, why is he still, why was he not available? Why was he not selected at all on Saturday in the squad? For any player, it's not easy when you're fit and available and you're not in the team. I've been there myself. They're not conversations I particularly enjoy, but you have to be head on with the guys. Everyone is aware they don't have a divine right and everyone needs to be fit in to change. He was also asked about, obviously, the lessons that we'll learn, what lessons we'll learn from Blackpool. And obviously, Grant today said, look, obviously we spoke about it as a group today, and we've had the weekend to look at it. Again, it was actually a nice process for me, as much as it can be. We were executing some things very well, and there were some things as a group we need to do better. We've talked about how to keep momentum in games. At times it was hindered by a small foul or a decision where the opposition get some airtime and they're able to get up the pitch. There were occasions we had to restart from the wrong end of the pitch and get back into the attacking pattern. Some of our attacking and threat to the opposition goal, we know we can be better. Some of it's decision making, some of it's execution, some of it's speed. We've reflected on that. And thankfully, we've had the chance to learn some of these things early on. It then went to see, I sense the group are relishing having a game on Tuesday. That's an advantage, but there's also no guarantees. And we have to make sure the next fixture goes how we want it to. And we don't have to take some more lessons. Performance has been the focus from the beginning. We've not spoken about winning or losing full stop. So yeah, some interesting points really in this, isn't there really? Obviously, it's good that they've obviously sat down and obviously discussed it and looked at what they can do better. Because that's how you learn, of course. No good just brushing it under the carpet. You need to speak about it briefly and then move on from it. So yeah, obviously, I already talked about that. The fact that there's a game on Tuesday, tomorrow night, it's an advantage. It's a quick turnaround, and it gives us a chance to put things right. So that is good for us. I thought it was interesting to see how he said obviously at the end that it's more performance based that he's looking for rather than the winning and losing part. Because I suppose if you perform well, then the result takes care of itself, doesn't it? More often than not. So Mega says, Town Women beat Doncaster 3-0. Let's hope we do the same on Tuesday. Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Like I say, hopefully we can, replicate that. In terms of, he was asked about maybe a potential replacement for Miller, and he said it was clear the stance is still the same. We're really happy with what we have in the building, and are also mindful there's still more than a week to go in this window. If there's someone we think is right for us and can help us push on, we'll look at that. But we're happy with what we have at the moment. I think this is quite interesting, actually, isn't it? Because a lot of people out there, myself included, are saying, we do need another option on that wing, and we do need another striker that can, that's more, obviously more taller and robust in terms of, physicality. Taylor and May, they're strong guys, but they're small. So a lot of people out there. So it's interesting that I understand that you're not going to go out and sign somebody if it's not going to improve you. And what's the point? I get it. But I just think the fact that they're not actively looking, I think it's kind of a bit surprising in my opinion, because we need it. We need another option on the wing, and we certainly need another kind of option up front. I know we've obviously signed May for a lot of money, and I get that, but we still could do with another option, and that's how I see it. So yes, I thought it was interesting. Obviously, Grant also said about the test that we faced tomorrow against Doncaster, started by saying, you look at how they ended last season and the lack of fear they've had this season. They're not fussed. They're used to winning. They're a settled side and have a manager with settled ideas. Full credit to them. They've made a wonderful start and they've adapted very well. I really like a lot of what I've seen of them and the feeling they have in the club, and there's a group can make them really, really dangerous. Yeah, I agree. I've been part of a group that's been on a special journey, he says, but there was never a moment where I felt comfortable. It really did come down to hard work and process. And I'm sure Grant McCann has put in a real process and structure that's given them a chance to win every week. And then he finally said, I'm also pretty certain they will have a healthy fear of everyone in the division. and that will be driving them. We know they've been dangerous, but it's one we're really looking forward to. So yeah, again, obviously interesting words, and I agree. I agree with him. There's quite a lot here, really. I don't really know if I want to kind of continue, really, because I think there is a lot of technical issues with the stream tonight, which is unfortunate. But also, obviously, he was talking about here how important is the home form. He said, we know each game is important, and we're not going to place special significance on an away game over a home game. But we're also aware there are some things you just have to do if you want to be successful. Having strong home performance in the stadium that's hard for the opposition is one of those things. It's critical. Yeah, I agree. We've talked about the home form. The home form is important. We need to make this our home a fortress. And Grant's right with what he said here when he was asked about it. He also said here as well, we want to make sure make our support the loudest and give the opposition a really hard time when they come to our ground, because we also value the work we do in front of our supporters. So yeah, that's really important as well. Making it difficult for the opposition, but also the fact that as a collective, they value obviously the work they do in front of the supporters, especially that turn up every week, which is nice. He was also asked about if he needed more height up front. And this and again, I know there's a lot to cover in this tonight, guys, but he said a lot of things I was quite, surprised a little bit by. He said, it's not something I lose sleep over. We've got good players, and good players are what we want. We're certainly not heightist. I don't feel players can't perform because of their height. I think what we have in the building currently gives us great opportunities to affect and hurt teams. Now, to me, I don't particularly agree with this. I think that, yes, I don't really think you can look at a player and think, yeah, they're small, so they're rubbish. But I think it's important to have another option in terms of, especially when putting balls into the box, you need another outlet. So it's not about, the players that we've got aren't good enough in terms of a May and a Taylor. They're very good players, but we maybe need to change the formation and put another, a player up front alongside a May or a Taylor, because they need somebody up there with them to get the best out of them. That's how I see it. So I'm not sure I agree about that in terms of what Grant said there. He said we're going to have games where we have a different situation to what we planned for or even started out in. On Saturday, it's two very different games. You have to prepare to react and perform and adapt to all different kinds of tough situations. We have the qualities we've already displayed in such a short amount of time, but we had a different challenge at the weekend. We just weren't able to find the last bits. Yeah, after looking at it, I think we're all clear on why that happened and how we do it differently if we had another crack of it today. That's important. We certainly don't want to hide away from those things, so we take the time to assess and understand it. So yeah, obviously a few kind of interesting things that Grant's actually saying, in my opinion, here. And yeah, there's a lot of kind of information here, really, that I just felt like the press conference today was interesting to kind of cover. Let me know if you can hear me all right, because obviously there is a few more people coming in. Relay, that's what it is then. Oh dear. So this stream has pretty much been very stop-start. So is there really any point continuing? I'm just going to check the last few minutes, guys. And we're Right, we're back. I've had a look back at the stream, and I'm not seeing any places where it's buffering, guys. So I'm not sure what you mean. Like, it's not. There's certainly something going wrong here, but I've had a look at the stream, at parts of the stream, and I'm not crashing on my end. In terms of when I'm looking on my phone, I'm checking on my phone and going back and seeing what it's like. It's not crashing on my phone, so I'm not sure what is happening. But I do apologise for this evening. Obviously, it is out of my control. He was also asked about, are there some players you feel the side haven't quite worked out how to get the best from yet? In his Lee Grant, he said, we're at a stage where nearly everybody has a good opportunity over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks. Everyone should have had a chance to stake a claim. Can't speak. Within all of that, we want to see players performing at their maximum. The group is growing and evolving and learning about each other, and some are finding themselves in a new club or new structure, and it might take a few weeks, a bit of time to get into their stride fully, and that's okay. Obviously, the quicker they get there, the better. But our job is to help them with that. Yeah, no, I agree. So he's spot on, isn't he? The gaffer with that, really. We're going to wrap it up in a moment because, like I say, I'm sorry about the technical issues, but it's just out of my control. It's obviously affected the stream a little bit tonight. The final part was he was asked about, maybe responding to those different game kind of scenarios that you come up against and results. And he said we talk about a lot of about game dynamics, and if you have a smart group, then obviously you've got a real chance to adapt and work out stuff in games. We work on things and highlight things, and the group have responded well to that. And yeah, obviously a few other things there, but I think we're going to wrap it up, to be fair, guys, because I just don't think if YouTube is having an issue, then obviously it's just affecting the stream completely, which is a shame, really. But it is one of those, we can't really affect it. I wasn't aware of it before I came live. But yeah, I mean, score predictions tomorrow. For me, I'm actually going to try and be positive. I'm actually going to go with a 2-1 victory for us. I think it's going to be a tight game. It's not going to be easy. But I certainly think we can win this game, and we need to bounce back, and it's imperative we do. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for us. Like to think that May can get on the score sheet, and I want to see a McGuinn get some minutes as well. But I think for me, May and maybe Ruskin. It's been reported on website downstep to YouTube having to, what a nightmare. It's YouTube with channels have the same crashing, not playing. Yeah, but as I said, guys, I'm having a look on my stream, and it's not. I've had a look, whilst I've been live, and I've gone back a little bit, and my side isn't crashing on me, because I'm checking on my phone here, and nothing's crashing, so I'm not sure what's happening really. But I do apologise, guys, about that tonight. Hopefully we're back to normal when we next go live. Charles says 2-1 victory for Town. Nice. So you're going to comment as well. But look, we want to see us come out of the blocks early on, don't we, and really take the game to them and put them under pressure. Don't let them settle, and test the keeper as much as you can. Defensively, cut out those errors from the weekend. We need to be back on, switched on defensively, because if we ain't, we're going to get punished again. So we need to be switched on defensively as well. And we need the midfield to be doing better in there as well. And the forward players obviously doing more, giving more end products and creating more. That's what we want to see. So yes, and Michael's 3-1 to Town. Nice. So you're going a bit more than me, but yeah, nice. But look, we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Anyway, like I said, I do apologise for the technical difficulty. Obviously, it's not my fault. It's out of my control, but YouTube must be having a few issues. But hopefully, maybe it'll correct itself a little bit later on the stream that people will watch back. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a waste of time doing this, isn't it? But hopefully, it does correct itself. But yeah, I mean, look, let's see what happens tomorrow night. We'll be back on Wednesday for either a reaction video or a live review show. Not sure yet. Might just do a reaction video. I'm not sure. We'll see. But you have a good evening, whatever you get up to. Let's hope for the 3 points tomorrow night. Let's bounce back. And I'll be back very, very soon for some more Huddersfield Town content. Until next time, take care, stay safe. And as always, up the town, Lee Grant's Barmy. Let's get the 3 points. Big up to Adam that joined me earlier on. I appreciate him coming on and speaking with me. You can go and find him on the socials down below in the description of this video as well. Yes, drop a like, subscribe, and get your comments in if you're watching this on playback. But yes, apologies for the technical issues, but we'll be back very, very soon. And yeah, enjoy the game tomorrow if you're going. And yeah, see you later, and on to the next one. See you later, and enjoy the game, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care.